Real-life orphan movie, the chilling true story of the Maguad siblings, brutally murdered by their adopted sister. If you thought the movie Orphan was disturbing, then you haven't heard about the gruesome and tragic real-life story that took place just a few years ago in 2021. Imagine opening your doors to a child in need of love and family, only to have that very same child destroy everything you hold dear. A family torn apart by jealousy and anger. A once idyllic home turned into a scene of unspeakable horror. Brace yourself for a journey into the dark side of human nature as we delve into the twisted mind of an orphan who brutally took the lives of her own foster siblings. As we stared in shock at the scene of this gruesome act, one question echoed through our minds. What could have possibly driven this child to commit such a gruesome and unthinkable act of murder? Welcome to AF Crime, the channel that brings you fascinating crimes all around the world. If you're interested in this kind of content, then this channel is for you. Make sure to like this video, click on the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell to keep you updated on our recent uploads. Join us as we delve into the shocking and disturbing truth behind the murder of the Maguad siblings. Quiet day in the small town of Malang, North Cotabato, Philippines, when news of a shocking and brutal crime rocked the community. At around 2:30 p.m., an account named Janice posted on Facebook saying she needs help and that their home was being ransacked. People rushed to help, but what they found at the scene would leave them reeling with horror and disbelief. When the authorities arrived at the Maguad siblings' home, they discovered 18-year-old Gwen Maguad and her 16-year-old brother, Cruzul, lying lifeless on the floor, covered in blood, with multiple stab and beaten wounds. The siblings, who were known for their passion, intelligence, and loving nature, had been ruthlessly murdered in broad daylight. Janice, who made a distress call for help on Facebook, was the sole surviving member in the house as the tragic incident claimed the lives of her adopted siblings. Initially, people had thought that Janice, the adopted sister of the Maguad siblings, had been lucky enough to escape the brutal murder, but soon after, they discovered that she was actually the one responsible for the horrific crime. Just like any other father, it was a regular afternoon for Mr. Maguad, a high school teacher, until he received a call that changed his life forever. The voice on the other end told him to hurry home as their house had been ransacked. He rushed back, arriving at 3:15 p.m., only to find a bloodbath. A blood-soaked blanket and knife were found near the front door, and his children's bodies were bathed in their own blood. His daughter, Cruzul, lay just outside the bedroom, full of bruises and stab wounds. His son, Cruzul, was hogtied and gagged near the front door, with stab wounds covering his body. Broken bottles, a hammer, and a baseball bat lay near their bodies, adding to the horrific scene. What made the incident even more shocking was that it happened in broad daylight at 2 p.m. It was unusual for a stranger killer to strike at that time of day, with most murders happening at night or in the dark. In an interview, Mr. Maguad reenacted the moment he opened the gate to his home and saw a blood-soaked blanket and knife lying near the front door. His heart sank as he called out for his children, but there was no answer. He turned the knob to open the door, but it was locked, so he went to the back of the house, which was eerily quiet. As he opened the back door, he kept calling for his son, daughter, and their adopted teenager, Janice, who they welcomed into their family just a few months prior, but there was no answer, only silence. Janice, the family's adopted teenager, came out from her room with wet hair, looking horrified. Mr. Maguad found it strange when Janice said she didn't hear him calling her as she was taking a shower. The situation became more suspicious when Mrs. Maguad, a school principal, revealed that Janice called them Mama and Papa for the first time that morning. During the investigation, Janice claimed that 3 men entered the house and killed the younger sibling, Cruzul, first. But this contradicts what was observed at the crime scene. Cruzul's blood was still fresh when the father arrived, while the body of the older sibling, Cruzul, was already stiff and infested by ants. As the authorities arrived on the scene and began their investigation, more details emerged, and the story became even more shocking. It was discovered that Janice, their adopted teenager, was the only one who knew where the hammer used in the murders was located. Additionally, The baseball bat used in the crime was found hidden in the upper deck of their son's bunk bed, which he had given up for Janice. The police who responded to the crime scene was stunned by the mess in Janice's room. It was obviously suspicious since she posted on Facebook that she was hiding in her room while the attack happened. It was as though someone had thoroughly searched every nook and cranny in her room, which made it impossible not to see someone hiding under the bed. To make matters even more shocking, the perpetrator had enough time to wash their body and change their clothes in the family's laundry area. The clothes were then placed inside a plastic bag and disposed of in the irrigation, but it was eventually found by the police. Janice said the men were thieves, but the Maguad said that other than the teens' phones, nothing else was stolen. At that time of the attack, Crezel's boyfriend called Janice's phone, but the girl didn't even say a word, and the background was very quiet. A few minutes after that, Janice changed her Facebook name. The news of the murder that shocked the nation took a dramatic turn on December 16th, when the young Janice finally confessed to being guilty of the brutal crime. The shocking revelation left many stunned, as the young girl admitted that jealousy and anger drove her to commit such a heinous act. According to reports, Janice had help from two others, including her boyfriend, who is still on the loose. As minors, Janice and her accomplice are now under the custody of the Department of Social Welfare and Development. The grief-stricken Mr. Maguad revealed that Janice's personality was the main reason behind her rage. When she is angry, she will do everything in her power to bring the person down. But what is more heart-wrenching is that the Maguad family took Janice in just 5 months ago, in July of 2021, to help her finish her studies since she is already an orphan. Little did they know that this decision would lead to a tragic ending for their beloved children. Crezel was one who insisted that they take Janice in, not knowing the horror awaited them. To make matters worse, the police found out that Janice's parents were still alive and she had 3 siblings, but she ran away from them because they were poor and she did not want to live a life of poverty. How ironic is it that the family who gave her a chance at a better life became the victims of her monstrous act? To add more shocking details, it turns out that Janice was a fan of horror movies, and The Orphan was one of her favorites. Mr. Maguad remembers how Janice introduced him to the movie, but he refused to watch it because he had already seen it and did not like it. The fact that Janice found the movie interesting and even shared a post about it is bone-chilling. It is a tragic and terrifying thought that a 16-year-old girl who was given a second chance at life and welcomed into a loving family could do such a gruesome act. The Maguad parents were left with countless unanswered questions after their only children, Crezel and Crezel, were brutally murdered due to nothing more than Janice's jealousy. It's difficult to comprehend that such a talented and ambitious girl like Crezel could be killed because someone else wanted to take her place. Crezel was also full of life and passion for sports, making their loss even more tragic. The fact that Janice's accomplice was an altar boy, allegedly her boyfriend, adds to the disturbing nature of this case. This story serves as a chilling reminder that jealousy can lead to unimaginable consequences. If you're experiencing jealousy, it's crucial to address it and try to overcome it because it can only lead to destructive outcomes. Let this tragedy serve as a lesson to us all to treat each other with kindness and respect, and to celebrate each other's accomplishments rather than letting jealousy consume us. AF Crime strives to bring you more such cases, so if you are interested, do subscribe to our channel where we bring you multiple videos per week, and don't forget to click on the bell icon to receive notification whenever we publish a new video. Till the next case, and thanks for watching.